I want to take you on an adventure. The adventure of a thing. Beloved around the world. An object that's powerful enough to invoke feelings, like a welcome end to a long day's work. That momentary checkout from the race of life. Or how good something sweet is after a salty meal. And the textures. So special that experiencing them recalls or creates the most powerful of memories. Of your time of innocence. Your first love. Or your first loss. That distant place you traveled just to experience it. Of course, I'm talking about everyone's favorite cup of tea. With those famous chewy pearls, or the endless supply of other ingredients that can go in it. And how this sign altered a titanic industry and changed our perception and interaction with the drinks. Let's start the journey. For the rare uninitiated, it takes only a few seconds of scrolling to discover endless love and content created around the drinks. And it varies. There are simple how-to at-home boba shows, cute sketches and personalities centered around the drinks. It's part of media empires like Two Set Violin. First-time tasting to store employee vlogs. If you can think it, there's a video for it. This is one loved drink, yet you can't find it everywhere. The area in which you live or are at the moment dictates your exposure to the tea drinks. And for that, we need to explore While writing this, I noticed that there's quite literally only two dominant drink cultures: coffee and tea. This concept doesn't need a deep dive. It's that simple. Coffee and tea are present worldwide. It's that society either drinks more tea than coffee, or more coffee than tea. I wanted to learn how to spot a tea culture, or define it even, beyond racial stereotypes and the crap that tourism bureaus throw at you. And I think our first idea starts here. With the definition of ubiquity. This is Yongji Road, lane number 30. And as far as I experienced, contains the densest population of tea shops in the entire city. For streets, it's pretty typical of Taipei. It's small, cramped, and one of those roads where traffic and pedestrians merge into one. Deliveries and workers carry out business with cars just inches away. This particular road is only 0.2 miles long, or 0.321869 km. 0.3. And in that small stretch of road, there are 18 different tea shops. And man, are they packed in here. With the norm being 2 shops sharing a wall with each other, or sometimes even 3. Like here, Kuko, Kambai, Eugene, all touching each other. This street is nuts in terms of shops, but I feel it was a good representation of spotting a tea culture through the ubiquity of the businesses that serve it. A bit extreme even. A quick comparison to my street, which is a normal everyday street. If you start at Chengdong-Lu intersection and measure 0.2 miles, you'll end up stopping here at Tao Tao Tea. And in that section, my street has exactly 9 shops. Far more spread out here, as my Kambai shares a wall with a bakery and a fishball soup, and a Shiensuji deep-fried goodness close by. Or to find Milksha's nearest competitor, you have to go 1 shoe shop, Chinese medicine, pharmacy, breakfast joint, and a bakery. That way. This way, there are no more shops till the end of the block. 9 shops in a 3-block zone is a lot by any standard. That's why I really feel that noticing the amount of businesses willing to sell you tea is a great marker for a tea culture. The second marker I noticed lies in the cups themselves. Well, not exactly, but the top of the cups. See, here you can tell what type of drink it is by just looking at the top. Coffee tops, generally, and I mean like over 98% of the time here, look like this. A pretty standard pop on top with the sippy hole, designed for drinking directly out of. While in the bubble tea shops, you have this well-known machine that seals the top of the cup with a plastic film, so you can get that satisfying pop when you stab it with a straw. This flat top and machine is well known enough to signal that the person is enjoying a tea drink and not a coffee. There's a very thin margin for error, as some drinks use a dome top to accommodate ingredients, and some small breakfast places will seal up their coffee, just like tea. But it's pretty rare to see a deviation from the norm. So you really can just look around the street and the cup tells you what people are drinking. I felt this is another good way to identify if you're in a tea culture. That and the amount you see on a daily basis kind of goes hand in hand with our first criteria. For the last marker, I'd like to make the case for how specialty drinks pop up in really weird places. And for this, I need to take you to one of my favorite events. But this year the tone is a bit more sinister and way darker than usual. That's right, we're back at Computex, baby. And I'm not trying to shoehorn it in here because I have access to it, but last year when I came for my Cool PC film, I remembered something I found odd, and it stuck with me. So that's why we're back. We established tea is found everywhere and at any time. Maybe there's this new trend where bubble tea and other specialty drinks are becoming more commonplace in odd environments. But I can't shake this odd feeling, like I'm not alone. And this year's displays are fantastic, dreamlike if you will. We follow all these bright lights and new flashy things around, kind of like we are ants marching. Who knows, maybe towards our doom. And amongst all this cool tech, I feel like there's this thing, always present, sort of watching us and the things that we do. While we scurry about our lives, it's right in front of us, but yet we hardly notice it. Jesus, God, Jesus, and baby Jesus. She has come for her jihad and to reap our souls. Bless the Maker and her water. Bless her watching over us. May her calculations be exact, so our culling can be quick and painless. Welcome, the Lisan al-Gaib. Yeah, so anyways, I went to ASRock, a fine purveyor of motherboards and graphics cards. And I came back because, oddly enough, I remember last year that they had a cafe in the back of their booth. And they do. I wanted to mention and show this because at events like office parties, corporate events, shows, you always have coffee or tea. I mean, it's crap, but it's there. But to have ground and packed espresso is on another level. And with one specialty drink comes another. That's right. At the world's third largest tech convention, a motherboard and GPU manufacturer has milk tea. And it's the only place on the show floor you can get it. It's even handcrafted too. I felt that this is the icing on the cake of, okay, I live in a tea culture. When it shows up alongside AI and graphics cards. Oh yeah, I talked to God before I left too. Muad'Dib is so humble. Now I know what you might be thinking. Eric, isn't milk tea just tea with milk in it? Well, yeah, ish, but not actually. See, most milk tea is made with powder. That's right, baby. Clim. Wonder what that spells backwards. Additive-free, pure and premium powder milk. Yep, this stuff is used in place of fresh milk for a variety of reasons. First being, milk is expensive here, and there's just not a lot of room for cows. The other important factors are shelf life, and the amount you can make from powder is just crazy massive. Just add water, like the formula says. Is that right? Clim equals cow water minus green water plus 22? Did I photograph that right? Should it be 22 plus green water minus water cow equals milk? Bah, whatever. Since milk here is so expensive, this stuff makes me think of something else. Okay. If you want fresh milk in your tea, you need to order Xian Nai Cha. It's far more expensive, and the trade-off is fat, with fresh having far less than the powder, which is pretty much powdered cream. It's pretty tasty, though. And now you know milk tea's little secret. It's not fresh, and it is a specialty drink that you'd probably never pick up on because there isn't a noticeable texture difference between fresh and powdered. At least that I've ever experienced anyways. And knowing is half the battle. Well, I'm glad you brought up textures, because that segues to our next point. A magnificent transition, BT Dubs. I try. We need to learn about some of the most common textures in tea drinks. And those are QQ, jellies, and puddings. We're gonna leave out fruit and beans. And I know many things here make use of red beans, xiaohongdou in Chinese, or azuki in Japanese, if you know them. We're gonna leave those out because their texture is just mush. And I need stuff for other films too. Can't cover everything in one go. You gotta milk it. I'm funny. Although, low-key, if you want the best mango anything in the entire country, you go to Le Fair. A mango smoothie with cheese foam, oh my god. Mango milk, oh my god. Just go there for anything mango. Trust me. Let's start with the most famous QQ, or as you probably know it as boba. Most people would describe boba or QQ as a chewy sensation. I agree, a little. It's a different kind of chewy, and it even has different types of QQ-y-ness. Let's learn. You got boba here as like the de facto standard QQ. But looking at its smaller sister, Zhenchu, it's not only smaller physically, but it's an entirely different form of Q. And then you have Yekuo here, which are coconut jellies. Nicknamed coconut's meat, and is in a whole nother class of Q than the other two. So if we were to make a scale from least Q to most Q, you'll have Yekuo at the bottom with the least amount of Qiness. I'll do my best to demonstrate. It's hard to do this without you actually having it in your mouth. If you take one here and then press on it, you'll see that it offers a good amount of resistance. It's not hard, like a gobstopper, but it's not soft either. You can see this as I push cut it without it really deforming. The texture in your mouth is very close to eating like a beefsteak. Soft, but has pushback on your teeth when you chew, which is probably why they nicknamed it coconut meat. You really need to experience this one for yourself. It's quite special, trust me. And it's great mixed with other QEs. Zhenchu, on the other hand, starts into the true Q-ness. Look at them, cuties. Its size doesn't really allow for a lot of bouncy chew, but the sheer numbers in your mouth will provide the softest level of Q that you'll take notice to. Now you'll see as I squish it, it bounces back into shape. But this doesn't last long in your teeth, only 1 or 2 chews and they turn into a satisfying sweet jelly. Cutting it smushes it into a completely different shape, and once it's done, it springs right back into a ball. The very definition of Q. Then we get to boba, the granddaddy of QQ-iness. The best way I can describe QQ-ness is not just chewy. Boba and other high Q things retain their shape really well after being squished in the teeth a few times. As seen here with my knife, the boba returns to its original shape. Same thing happens in your mouth. And you can feel this in your teeth as you bite 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and they don't really change. It takes a few chews before they completely break down into gooey goodness. And it's that resistance to being broken down in your mouth that what I say is QQ over just regular chewy. And watch this. Even the half I cut off goes right back into a ball. True Q. But, as always, let's contrast. These are Xiao Tamian, or basically little mochi balls. And these are what I describe as chewy. Very chewy in a more traditional sense. Mochi is made from glutinous or sticky rice. Soaked, steamed, and pounded into submission. Even if you've never had it, there's a high chance you've seen it. It looks like this. Typically has stuff on the outside or a filling like red beans on the inside. This is just a small version made for drinkies, but the texture and chewiness are the same. Because as you'll see, the tamian will deform when you put pressure on it. They're still soft and chewy, but you see here when I push down on it, the shape is changing. Complete opposite of boba, which bounces back. These tamian remind me of the most standard chewy things like gummy bears, gum, jelly beans, and that is how I would define the classic chew versus QQ. Moving on. The next common texture you'll find in the drinks are jellies. No need to debate the texture. It's exactly what you think it is. Soft, bouncy, goes up the straw easily, and you can squish it through your teeth with all its sugary goodness. Comes in a plethora of flavors too. Endless, actually. Fruits, anything, with the hottest right now being tea-flavored jelly. Flavor don't change the texture though. It's all the same. Super good in the drinkies. Again, trust me. In the spirit of soft things, ha ha ha! A tundra! Next texture we got is puddin'. Puddins provide that creamy goodness, but they work well in the drinks. As it runs away from me here. Yeah, I'm a professional, guys. And you'll often see this very famous Taiwanese flan mixed in with the drinks. Texture is exactly as you see it. A nice soft custard that when you cut it, makes a screamy face. Oh my god! And then it smiles. How cute. Oh, no, it's dead. We killed it. Good job, guys. This stuff is as sweet as it gets. Basically pure sugar in soft form, but its super soft, creamy texture is perfect for drinkies. Goes up the straw easy, you can squish it on the roof of your mouth. It's just a delightful texture, which is why you'll find it in tons of the drinks here. Another one I put in the pudding category is Xingren Tofu. It's a rice tofu made with apricot seeds. But this stuff is so soft it just falls apart at any handling. So I put it in these dishes. And I wanted to show it because it's popular enough that you'll see it all the time in the drinks here. And maybe you'll see it later on in the film. Foreshadowing. Wow, you guys are pretty smart now. Tea culture, cups, stuff in drinks. You're probably wondering, well, what about the industry? Oh, I smell a transition. You got it, baby. Now, naturally, when one thinks of business, the best visual representation would be taping fishing line to a cup. To make a sitar. A magical sitar. Who only speaks the truth. Yeah, I named him E. Hansen. Seems legit. High quality work. I guess you could say I put my heart and soul into it. I'm funny again. Let's test his abilities. What do you think of the viewers? You are beautiful. Aw, isn't that great? What do you think of the host? You are ugly. Yeah, we got zingers like that in abundance here, folks. Anyways, I made E. Hansen because I wanted to demonstrate the size of the tea industry. And I'm talking about the shops and the cup part of the industry. Not the bottle, not the bags, only the cups. And it's something huge, like $5 billion or something like that. I'll ask E. Hansen. E. Hansen, how big is the cup industry? Show, don't tell. What? Film is a visual medium. Why did I name it E. Hansen? Why? Let's go. Jesus, God, Jesus, and baby Jesus. I have never experienced a place like this or of this magnitude ever in my entire life. When you put humanity's entire food industry under one roof, it can be a bit overwhelming, to say the least. Welcome to Food Taipei, a mega show. Or as I like to call it, Compu Food Tex. I write these jokes. Okay, enough of that. These two shows are nowhere near each other in size. Let's compare maps. We'll have our own little Goonie adventure. I'm not a reject. Since both shows take place at Nangang Exhibition Center, Computex only takes place in the Thai Annex 1. It does use both the first and the fourth floor, which, trust me, one floor is massive, so using the first and the fourth, the show is huge in its own right. Food Taipei utilizes the same as Computex, but it also uses the first and fourth floor of the Thai Annex 2, so it's twice the size of Computex, using both buildings to their full capability. And that is just, it's unfathomable how big this thing is. Huge. Yeah, my shit hurt after walking this show for 4 days straight. But I came here because I really think this show is a good representative of the size of the tea shop industry, which, to answer our question from before, is a $3.26 billion global industry. And that's just the cups you're putting in your hand. Not the bottles, not the bags, just what we've been talking about this whole time. So I figured we should come here to answer several questions. Like, what is the structure of a $3.26 billion industry? Who are the players and what are they up to? With the first question being answered with manufacturing. The sheer amount of manufacturing booths I saw and covered could stretch into a 12-hour film. But this is the powerhouse behind your drinks. All the powders, boba, and jellies all start here. Honestly, I learned with drink trends driving the manufacturers, it's a tough industry to stand out in, as I saw the same ingredients repeated ad nauseum. Just like YouTubers and videos. Oh, but it works out. We just have to remember, $3 billion industry with global supply chains. I mean, you're quite literally building a... Yep. Now, big business isn't dumb. They know they have to offer something different. In my time here, I noted 3 manufacturers that are doing things differently. And we'll start with Limax, known in America as Bosun? Yeah. While they manufacture all things bubble tea, their strategy is selling the store package. And when it says startup package, that's all inclusive, they aren't kidding. The kit includes tea, obviously, your ingredients for drinkies, knickknacks and other bubble tea things to sell. Where Limax deviates from other manufacturers is they include your cups and packaging. as well as the equipment you will use in the store. Even to business consultation about all the ins and outs of running a drink shop. Limax was the only manufacturer offering a package this comprehensive in the whole show that I found. Their goal is to be your one-stop shop for absolutely everything in your tea shop. And it's not a franchise, as you can sell their products under your own name or use their name if you want. If we want to look at franchise opportunities, then we must visit Missing Tea. Their approach as a manufacturer/franchisor is personal, as Missing Tea is focusing their tea blends on their roots as Hakka people from China. The Pei Pu Lei tea is made of a bean blend that has roots in the Hakka culture. And I'll say it's pretty darn good. And as of yet, I haven't run into a mix like this in the common tea shops out there. I love it when there's a personal touch or a story to a product. It adds so much. There were other franchisors at the show, and it was pretty standard stuff, like sign up, you get access to our network, and our brand is pretty well known, so you'll do fine. But Missing Tea was the only one that was approaching that personal side, saying, "We're Hakka, this is how we made tea back home. Try it, and if you like it, join us and share it with everyone else." To that, I say, yes please. Missing Tea isn't small potatoes either. They've had rapid growth since being founded in 2016, got locations all over the island, and I'll bet you that comes from the passion that these guys have when they talk about their home and how it inspired their drinks. For all the franchisees out there, let's hope the market is pretty favorable for this groovy tea. The last special innovator I found was OG manufacturer Kuozhi. And when I say OG, I mean OG. For God's sakes, they've been in the game since before I was a twinkle in my dad's eye. Woo! Anyways, now they're still in the manufacturing game, but they're branching out into distribution of other products for supermarkets and other shops. However, they are offering custom product design, manufacturing, and distribution in partnerships with online personalities, such as VTuber Wu Jiang here, who is part of the quartet known as the Coastal Girls, a troupe of VTubers sharing games, life, and culture living in and around Taichung. Kuozhi, working with Coastal Girls, has created flavors, textures, and drinks around each VTuber's personality, with Wujiang being taro bubble tea, and with her sister, Shaoqing, being popping mango tea. I can see the inspiration and resemblance in each drink and character. Sorry, Wujiang, taro's just not my thing. I think that Kuozhi is really smart offering full production for the social media space. They were the only ones at the show doing this, because I think we can all agree that manufacturing based on personalities and their online shops is important now and more so in the future. Missing Tea, Kuozhi, Limax are all pushing innovation from the back end, while others are only offering new flavors. I felt these three were looking in new directions. Yeah, experiencing the planet's food industry all at once kind of fried my brain. Very accurate. But at least you guys are all learned up on everything you need to know about the drink industry. You smell that? Someone cooking? Cooking up a transition? God damn, you should win an award for these. I know, eh? You remember when I said this sign inspired this film and changed the entire drink industry? Well, it says, bring your own cup and get $5 off your drink price. And that comes from here. Not the article, but an island-wide ban on plastic drink cups. That's right, single-use cups are now mandated to switch from plastic to paper. And the businesses that are not in compliance face fines of 1,200 to 6K NT, which is about 40 to 200 Merkin. This is to cut down on Taiwan's use of plastic and help mitigate its impact on the environment. I believe this is good and will cut down on the amount of new plastic in the environment. Because of all the cool stuff we've seen, there is a dark side to the tea drink industry. Trash. And lots of it. Now before you come at me for littering, this is all your countrymen. I just saw the cup and took the pictures. I saw how you guys crucified that one YouTuber for leaving his cup outside the MRT, but he actually did litter, so it was justified. Anyways, no matter where you live on planet Earth, people are gonna litter. It's just a fact. And since you can't remove the human from the equation, the next best thing is to change the form of litter to help lessen the impact of plastic on the world we live in, which is exactly what the ban does. Well then, how would this impact us and an entire industry? Haha, my sons and daughters. How about I drop a transition right here? Stop. Okay. We're talking about aesthetics again, baby. I'm never gonna be free of that word. Ever. Since plastic is banned here, we need to go visit Fujisan again. Or not. Just stare at the ground, I guess. Yeah, anyways, we're in Tokyo, where plastic still reigns supreme. And you can see why. Now, since most of the bubble tea shops here are Taiwanese in origin, they could have possibly moved their cup stocks here. Here is why changing the cup changed everything. When you order in Japan, you get the drink as the shop designed it. From A to Z, flavor to aesthetics. This is how they designed it. You can walk down the street with that pretty drink in hand, and then shake it all up in the end and drink it. It's pretty fun, and I think you see my point. But let's play with it a little bit more, and build our own drink. Huh, nice setup. Maybe one day, someone will call me Kevin. So let's start with a base of boba. You'll see that we are building flavor and aesthetics at the same time. Still good. Then we add the Jaeguo to contrast boba's texture and color. And we'll cap it all off with some Shinren tofu, soft and white, on top. Foreshadowing, I told you to come back. Stupid. Don't call people stupid. Okay, we'll take that out. Hit it with some dark tea and check the layers. And then finally, one more little bit, some milk. And you built not only a tasty experience, but a cool presentation too. You lose the tofu in the milk, but we got our layers and our aesthetics. When you change the cup, you take that part away. Entire businesses were built on their drinks aesthetics. Take Shinfu Tang shops, for example. Their whole shtick was how their drink looked over how it tasted. I can show you, I just can't film it here anymore. You'll see the procedure is to line a clear cup with sugar and then assemble the rest of the drink, giving it their signature aesthetic. Now it's different. It's literally scoop stuff in a cup and send it out the door. No order, no stacking, there's no point anymore. And it's not their fault. This is the impact of changing the cup. The drink still tastes fine, but you lose part of the experience. And that's how the ban is changing the industry. It affects us on how and when we experience the drink aesthetics. We now experience the aesthetics third hand, basically. Like on the store's print media and banners. Now drinks are assembled to be put on cards and brochures. And by the time they reach you, it's been through the photographer's vision, followed by post-production, and then finally approval by marketing. So rather than engaging with the aesthetics through the cup in our hand, we are forced to engage with the drink's aesthetics here, in its printed form. Same thing goes for outside the store's media. It still serves to inform and persuade your order, but gone is the excitement of seeing the drink in your hand, taking pictures, or if you're weird like me, trying to eat all the Jaeguo first and then eating the boba. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an old man now and the Tham kids are on my lawn again. I really think we are missing something when our dark chocolate sweet cream foam with cake bits on top looks like this. And then we get this. Yeah. I noticed a new way we can experience drink aesthetics. And that is the store's designs have started to incorporate them. Yeah, I know it's called branding, but hear me out. Your basic tea shop always had and still has a bar to order and a place to make the drink. Take 50 Lan here, your most basic popular tea shop. Bar, make area. Coco does the same thing. Order here, make there. Only branding difference between the two is one is orange and the other's yellow. Contrast this to stores like Daming and Tao Tea. Daming shifts the aesthetics of their drinks to the store itself. As you enter the store, the concept is the same, order bar and make area, but you're treated to a store that gives you a modern home aesthetic. Peaceful green tiles, houseplants, a cabinet you might have in your own house. Minus your name and lights, but it's cool. It looks nice and it feels homey, the way they want you to. And then we have the cup on display, which we've now removed the aesthetics from and placed here on the walls to match and add to the store's aesthetic. This shifts the experience from all about the drink to that the store is cool and the drinks are good. And avocados too. My son really likes those. He wears them as a hat. A store that takes its aesthetics to the nines would be Tao Tao Tea, where they set the stage of a high-class tea shop with their fancy tea cans all over the walls. But the detailing is what really sells it here, with ornate handles to wall trimmings, and then the selected lighting, which even has its own small details. They even have a chandelier. Why not? Now this is min-maxing stores in Morrowind. And I'll say all of this will still be here if the plastic cups existed. But there's more importance on it now because the stores lost one important way to differentiate from each other, which was the drink's aesthetics, and they have been moved from the cup into the store. To add a little historical context, just visit one of these. Good old Abe's fruit tea shop. No modern aesthetics, just literally fresh fruit, blender, tea, cups, and you're out the door. This is about as OG Taiwan as you can get. You want a real experience, you come here. And it's almost all you have left, because by removing the aesthetics from the drinks, everything kind of just blends together. It really just becomes milk, sugar, and tea. So I figured for our final chapter on this journey, we would take a look at how the shops are coping with the cup ban and the loss of the uniqueness between their drinks. The first thing that must be mentioned is the quality of the tea chosen. You cannot ignore this fact. Choose crap and you'll sell crap. And as we saw at the food show, there's a plethora of manufacturers and vendors to choose from. The only problem here is they all say they have the best tea. I won't be ranking the shops. I will mention my thoughts on the tea that they have, but it's important that I need you to know that all shops use the quality of the tea as a core method to differentiate from each other. With that said, in my research, I noted a shop using an age-old technique. And for this, we need to discuss transition. This is 再睡5分钟, which translates to sleep 5 more minutes, better known as nap tea, and is the business of an immensely popular YouTuber named Crown Du. Celebrity-owned businesses are not new, But this shop chain is unique as it's using the power of celebrity in a new way. See, as much as you might think it is, this is not a tea shop. This is a her shop. Every detail was crafted by her and is based on her taste. The aesthetics on the floor, the walls, the icons are all her aesthetics. The vibe of the shop is her vibe. It doesn't take a genius to see that this store is her. Modern celebrities have live streams, chat, and comment sections, an instant interaction with fans. And that's what this store is selling, the feeling of an interaction between you and her, whereas traditional celebrities are walled off from the public. My thoughts on the tea? It's okay. I much prefer a stronger brew. But again, the tea is not the focus of this store. And I'm not being negative here. I admit it's a clever way to use your influence. And it works when you lose one of your selling points. In contrast, we can look at a shop like Tea Lover. Now, from my experience, they're the shop that always has partners with celebrities. And often they're either animated or game related. In fact, I honestly can't remember a time when Tea Lover was just Tea Lover on its own. However, though, I've often seen with Tea Lover collabs, the drinks come first. Sometimes they're tailored to suit the character, but more often than not, the case is the drink is Tea Lover's original drink, with just the endorsement of Miss Kitty here, a more traditional celebrity endorsement approach. This help keeps the focus on the drink as an experience, rather than an experience with the celebrity. Neither approach is wrong, it's just two different ways to tackle the same problem. I thought that was neat. If you want your brand to be recognized as celebrity status, then control is the name of the game for you. And for that strategy, we have to pay a visit to Welcome to Dezhen. A store whose strategy is controlling its aesthetic so tightly that I really wonder if it's a tea shop or a fashion brand. Let me explain it to you. This shop cares about its aesthetics so much. I mean, just look at the interior. Every tiny detail has been measured out. But what nailed it together for me was the unity between the uniforms and the shop. It is no mistake that the floor, cup holder, and register all match the uniforms. And you spend enough time in the shop and you'll notice that the uniforms also match the tea vats and even match the wheels on the cup sealing machine. This level of control is a work of art, really. And the whole store has that sort of minimalist thing going on. And you'll see the cups support that vibe, with a clean design and little quotes about tea. Even the tops. I mean, there isn't 1 inch that isn't in unity with the rest of things. There is a set of coordinates here. We're like something like 45 minutes in here. You think I'm gonna look them up? No. It's their founding store's location, BT dubs. I mentioned high fashion, and that's because one look at their website and you can see the brand identity tying itself to high fashion photography. And this is what I meant by they push this aesthetic so hard that I wonder, is this a tea shop that is fashionable or a fashion brand that happens to sell tea? Either way, their strategy of pushing an identity so hard that everyone knows it on site seems to be working. Luckily, by design of the brand, paper or plastic cups here are irrelevant. Oh yeah, and the tea is great here too. But there is one more. And to find them, we need to visit every travel vlogger's wet dream. Yes, or night market. Home of the stinky tofu and views, baby. It's more than just tofu, though. It's actually got a lot of foods. On sticks, in bags, kind of the culture of the place. It's basically like a 365 Carnival Midway. Always in the same spot and ready to go. They are unique, and we'll cover it one day. In my style, though. You know we don't follow norms around here. Right now, we are here for this place. Thai Love Tea. And this place slaps harder than the bass line in this song. But I want to start with the cup now, because I think this is the experience you'll have when you go there. Due to the band, they're also on paper cups. I feel, though, that Thai Love did the best job transferring an experience to the cup. That and they have Doge, so, extra 10 points for that. Marketing genius right there. Oh, a good Doge. In my journey experiencing and collecting other cups, they're mostly all just a name and a logo, with the exception of Tea Lover and their celebrity collabs. To me, honestly, it's a missed opportunity for putting an experience in the hand of the customer while they're enjoying that drink. And yes, I understand branding and brand standards. I'm leaning more towards taking a risk and being rewarded. See, Thai Love's cup is actually kind of cluttered up with a bunch of stuff, and I don't know who their logo is. The Doge, or the family with Doge. It seems to me kind of like a little bit of both. But what works and is memorable is how the cup tells me a story. A story about traveling to Thailand and what I can experience there. It's printed on the cup, and I'm tasting it at the same time. Now that is putting the experience back into the cup. And I felt that Thai Love best represents the change from the band because of how visual their drinks are. The colors, the layers. Their drinks rely so much on their aesthetics that with the band, so much is lost. And here is the cup in question. My last true aesthetic drink experience in Taiwan. You can see it's much simpler. And it carries both the Doge and the family as well. So they are both the logos. Confirmed. Aside from their social media, the cup itself is pretty clean, and that allows for that full, beautiful, artistic drink design to shine through. And makes you feel pretty special too that you got it and get to enjoy it. I really wish you guys could have experienced this, but it's gone now, and even the skill of creating the drinks is threatened. As we've been discussing this whole film, with paper cups, you don't have to put stuff in order. You just pour it in, and it's done. I was able to capture the last craftsman at work. Some of you call him a bartender, a mixologist. I call him my son, and he knows absolutely everything about mixing these drinks. The order the ingredients go in, their weight, how they interact with each other, so that once he's done with your drink and hands it to you, he hands you an experience, not something that's all mixed together and blah. And it's a thing of beauty. I really wish you guys could have experienced this. And don't misunderstand me, I'm not advocating for more plastic. There's way too much of it in the world, and frankly, plastic kind of pisses me off. I'm just a little sad at what we have to give up. But I believe in us, and I think we'll find a solution in the future, that we can have something see-through and get it all back again. But until then, I asked the Forge Master what he thinks would be the best drink for a send-off. And he made me this. A beautiful concoction of cream, sweetened condensed milk, dark chocolate, and cake bits on top. Said it would be perfect to watch it slowly drip down and blend together. So we get one last true drink experience. And the Maestro delivers. This is knowing your craft and knowing your drinks. Jesus, God, Jesus, and baby Jesus. It's a thing of beauty, and I'm happy to share it with you guys. And if you're wondering about this cup, this was the last place I found that you could get plastic cups. That's because the band did have a grace period to use up existing inventory of cups. But as of September 1st, 2024, countrywide ban. Inventory or no, it's done. You can't get it anymore. And you guys know me, it takes me a year to make a film, so my footage is old here. I don't want Thai Love to get a fine. Of course, when you're the king, you don't get fines. You collect them. All hail to the one true king of experience, Thai Love Tea. Thank you for my last true drink experience in Taiwan. And thank you all for coming with me. We'll see you in the next one. Deuces.